Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all doing well today. Today, some more rogue grind, but my gameplay is a bit different now, as I do have a new build, a variant of what I was using before, or I would say a combination. The build is a combination of what I was playing before and what's his name? Lucky Luciano, I think. Yeah, Lucky Luciano. Let me see. So I will take the... I will put it in the description for his video. Stupid mouse. Oh, I would have to edit it. I'll edit it later, after I'm done streaming. But let me see. Pop out chat. Stupid mouse. There we go. Okay. And oh, buddy messaged me. Alright, so I'll go over the build briefly. Here. Like, my skills and whatnot haven't changed too much. The skill tree hasn't really changed. But I will go over the differences. I'll start with the gear. And I guess what I could do... is actually bring up there we go. Oh, what is going on? Why is it doing this to me? Oh, my stream. I can't see it. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, Lucky Luciano. So his helm, he's got the Manglers, very good one. Dealing direct damage to a vulnerable enemy has a chance to make him dazed for 2 seconds. Very strong. Dazed, enemies cannot attack or use skills but are still able to move. I wasn't using this before. Very strong though, especially when you combine it with the Fist of Fate, right? Because they have a chance to both immobilize and daze. I think our stats might vary. Yeah, this is one of the variances between, oh, you got it. How is our attack horse? Use it so that you have it and you can use, and then you can pull it out. Okay, so, his helm has poison imbuement ranks, cooldown reduction, crowd control duration, and dexterity. Mine has dexterity, poison imbuement, all stats, and cooldown reduction. I've opted primarily to go with, because I also have more currently anyways, probably due to my Paragon. My Paragon board is not finalized. I still have to adjust that, but I need more money for that. My attack power is higher by, 700 or so. Actually, no. It's more like 1,300 difference. My armor is a bit higher, but he's got more life. He's got more life selected in the Paragon board than I currently do, but that's okay. Okay, so I've opted because I noticed on his Paragon board, he does not have the... What would you call it? The, come on. Open it. Open it! Okay. He doesn't have the stats to get all the, and I'll go to his Paragon here. He doesn't have the stats to get all the rare node benefits, right? He's short. So here he's got 426 intelligence and 516 strength. So the total, let's go to the last board here just to give you an idea. So, oh no, that's the wrong board. Here we go. Because there's an intelligence one over here. This one requires strength, 520 strength for Lawless, for the armor. Then there's this one, which requires 540 intelligence. And yeah. So, oh, that's not even the last one, sorry. Here we go. 620 and 630 strength. And dexterity. So the dexterity is fine. So I actually have 300 more dexterity than him. Got more intelligence, more strength. So my goal is I want to also, whatever rare nodes I pick, whatever boards I pick, I want to ensure that I have enough stats to get the secondary requirements, because that will push this even higher, I think. Getting the extra vulnerable damage, getting extra defensive stats, right? Extra potion healing. Extra damage to elites, etc. That kind of thing, right? So I want to ensure that I can do that. So on my gear, unlike him, I've opted to go with all stats as well as main stat, because main stat gives you a lot of damage, and all stats will give me you know, the extra stats I need to make those breakpoints to get the secondaries for the rare nodes. So that's what I'm currently working on. So my chest piece is an Adventurer's Tunic of Might, which is also different from his. He's got Disobedience, and then his pants are Umbrous. So Umbrous as a power, like, it doesn't matter if it goes on your chest piece or your legs, whatever. But that compared to Might is a guaranteed 20% damage reduction. Okay? Whereas Umbrous requires you, right? Critical strikes with marksman skills have up to a 60% chance to grant a free Dark Shroud Shadow. Now, I've tested this power in the past. The problem is, especially if you don't have ranks, which with this build you don't really have the ranks to put into Dark Shroud. So Dark Shroud, each one only gives you 8% damage reduction, I do believe. Let's double check that on here. Let's see. Dark Shroud. Yeah, base, 8%. Now, if you can get all 5, that means you get, what is it, like 40, 45%? I'm bad at math, okay? Let's see. 8 times 8 times 5. What the hell? 8. Where is the button? Never mind. Times 5 equals 40. So, yes, with all 5 Dark Shrouds, Dark Shroud charges or whatever, orbs, you get 20% more damage reduction overall compared to the Might power. However, the difference here is that every time you take a hit, you lose a shroud, right? You lose one of those orbs. So that damage reduction is constantly going down, and then you only have up to, with the max power, 60% chance to even get one. So basically, especially in the higher content, you're getting hit, even as a rogue, as mobile as you are, etc. You're getting hit constantly and constantly losing. And like, he didn't really build for crit, right? His crit chance in here. Now, to be fair, and I would say this is maybe a bit of a criticism on my part regarding his build, is that this power requires you to crit. So, but it's only a 60% chance, and it's with marksman skills. The only marksman skill he has is puncture. Like, yeah, you use puncture a lot, okay, but it's only a upwards of 60% chance that you're going to get it. So his crit chance is only 28.5%. Mine currently, and that's not maxed out, obviously it's not optimized, is 32.8%. And that's not when I get into combat and do different things, right? I have increased critical hits in various circumstances. Of course, then there's, if you want to take where is it? Like, you could take a precision elixir, etc., to get increased critical strike chance and damage. He recommends for elixirs primarily the combatant fortune for lucky hit chance. Lucky hit's really important. Okay, so here's the thing with Umbrus, with the Dark Shroud passive or whatever, right? Getting those, you would want as high of crit chance as possible. I would sacrifice some critical strike damage for higher critical strike chance, because the issue that the rogue has is they're softies. They get hit really hard, especially as you're trying to push into higher tier content. So whether that be Uber Lilith or something else. Now, versus a single target, in the video, if you watch that, you'll see that when he dazes Lilith, because he has a hot, now I think he has a high lucky hit chance. Let me see. His lucky hit, here's his daze, immobilized, and energy, right? Like, he's got a 25% chance. He's got a 34.5% bonus chance. So I think it's this plus the daze effect. It's kind of like a crit, but for secondary effects, if I'm mistaken. Okay. But, so that's like a 50% chance. It's either 1 in 4 or 1 in 2 chance that he's going to daze. Which means that because she's dazed, Uber Lilith doesn't attack and doesn't use abilities, which literally just halts the fight. Now, this is good against any boss. However, as he mentions in his video, the thing that this is built for is dealing with pinnacle bosses like Uber Lilith. Okay? My build is specifically for everything else. And you could still use it even for Uber Lilith. It'd probably be maybe a little bit slower, because lower lucky hit chance and stuff like that. Right? My lucky hit chance is only 11.7% right now. Okay, so next. So again, Umbrus, the problem with this is if it was lucky hit chance instead, maybe it'd be better, because then you don't have to rely on crits. He's got a low crit chance. I recommend it'd be better to actually have a higher crit chance if what you're trying to do is get the damage reduction bonus from Umbrus in particular. Otherwise, you can get it elsewhere, right? So you can get Might instead of Umbrus. I have Might on my chest piece, and on my leggings, I have Disobedience. Fists of Fate for my gloves, and then my boots are also different. He has Penitent Greaves, right? Because you get the Trail of Frost that chills enemies, and you deal 10% more damage to chilled enemies, right? And then it's got movement speed, crowd control duration, slow duration, and cold resist. Cold resist, who fucking cares, right? One thing I do not like is that you don't have the opportunity to get extra evade charges. I really don't like that. So especially in consideration of, are you fighting a single boss, or are you fighting groups of enemies like running through a dungeon, hell tides, etc. In terms of this build I have, still works fine for bosses. However, the CC, the crowd control, isn't as good. So on my boots, instead, I have Ravagers for Shadow Step. Right? It gains an additional charge. Killing an enemy with Shadow Step refunds a charge and increases the damage of Shadow Step by 6% for 2 seconds, up to 30%. Right. So another thing because I'm not going with Penitent Greaves, that would maybe be an alternative I would choose versus a boss. Maybe. However, there is a combo with Shadow Step that's different from his also that I have, using Synergy. So my boot here with my boots, the Ravagers, you have the opportunity to gain more evade charges. Always good. You want to always be mobile with a rogue as much as possible. I've gone with Intelligence, Shadow Step ranks, movement speed, and main stat Dexterity. So the reason why I chose Intelligence, right? I'm going Strength, Intelligence, and Dexterity for stats as much as possible. So on here I have more Intelligence. Basically, whatever stat you are low on, whichever one stat is the third highest one between Strength, Intelligence, and Dexterity, that's the one you want. So it'd be between Strength and Strength and Intelligence. That's the one you're going to want to get put on your gear. Otherwise, if you can, get all stats on as many pieces of gear as you can. So then on my pants, so he's got for stats, dodge chance, damage reduction from close enemies, and damage reduction from distant enemies. I have damage reduction in the skill tree, so I'm not. While I have flat damage reduction, I also have dexterity, intelligence, and poison trap, because I think having as much damage on poison trap as possible, as many ranks, given how few ranks you actually put in to your skills with this build, while utilizing stats like or equipment like your pants or whatever to get skill ranks. Right now, one thing to say is, if somebody was lucky enough to get Harlequin's Crest, you could forego getting skill ranks on other pieces of gear, right? Like on your helm, because it's going to be +4 to all skills. On your pants, you could, instead of, say, poison trap, you could get something else, right? You could then get like another form of damage reduction or something, or dodge chance. Dodge is actually really good. If you dodge, you literally don't get hit, right? Let's see, where's dodge in here? Dodge chance, right? So dodge, right? When you would receive direct damage, you have a chance to dodge it. Dodge attacks deal no damage. As the stat increases, additional bonuses become less effective. I don't know what the ceiling, like what the breakpoints on the diminishing returns for that stat is, but high dodge chance would probably be really good too, because then you just avoid shit all. Best defense is to not get hit at all, right? Okay, so in terms of weapons, I've again gone with some different stats. He's got double vulnerable damage, critical strike damage, damage to close enemies, and dexterity on his crossbow. I've also got the corruption power. Corruption is your imbuement skill effects have 80% increased potency against vulnerable enemies. So there's multiple ways to make people vulnerable with this build. He's using puncture and the exploit glyph to make people vulnerable. Myself, as a difference, I'm using instead concealment, because I don't use dash. I personally don't like dash. You can't dash if you're CC'd, right? If you're crowd controlled. So instead, I use concealment because it gives you unstoppable. I have two forms of unstoppable. One, I can, as long as there's an enemy around, I can make myself unstoppable for a second with Shadow Step. But if that fails, I can use, and if I need a longer period of time to get out of a bunch of stuff, I use concealment. Because it's 4 seconds, it also increases your movement speed. I have the rune to get 40 extra energy when I enter concealment. That's your first passive for concealment. And then the second one, that the skill that breaks concealment always makes enemies vulnerable for 6 seconds. So the skill you would want to use in conjunction with concealment, you would basically conceal, then twisting blades, then poison trap, or poison trap, concealment, and then twisting blades, right? So the reason for it is whatever skill you use after you use concealment, that's what's going to make people vulnerable. Poison trap because it has a small radius, it's less effective for making large groups of enemies vulnerable for 6 seconds. However, Twisting Blades, every instance that Twisting Blades does damage. So when you stab them, when it returns to you and cuts through enemies, and then with the power, the Blade Dancer's power, the Whirlybird orbit also makes enemies vulnerable. So you have more instances of making potentially more enemies, I think, vulnerable. I don't think that. I know that that's how it works. Sorry. And I think that's better in terms of making people vulnerable versus just using puncture. Puncture is fine, obviously, versus like a boss, because you're always going to be using puncture all the time to build your energy up, etc., to make enemies vulnerable. It's super easy, right? But I still recommend using concealment over dash even against bosses, because it grants you unstoppable. Because a lot of mechanics in this game, what happens is you get crowd controlled and then the boss one shots you. But if they CC you and then you're not there and you get free movement, faster movement, and they can't see you, and then when you come out of it, you do, you know, you get energy, you get, if you need it, you get extra damage out of Twisting Blades because you're making them vulnerable, or you're trapped, or whatever, right? Okay, so in terms of stats on the weapon, I've instead got my... Now, this is a old weapon, but I've kind of opted to try and go for... If I was to get it, I need a new crossbow, first and foremost. If I was to get a new crossbow, I would instead go with... Let's see, what did I go with on here? Okay. What I would instead go for is, instead of core damage... Let's see. Probably another vulnerable damage would be good, right? And then either critical strike. Yeah, you can get critical strike damage, right? So get those, right? Vulnerable, extra vulnerable damage, and extra critical strike damage. That's what I would recommend. I don't have that on my current weapon. This one I've had for a long time. But on top of that, get main stat and all stats. Again, and the benefit of a two-handed weapon is the ranges for your main stats, or for a singular stat, and even the all stat, is it's much higher than on any other piece of gear. So it can really help you get over those hurdles required for... getting the secondary effects on the power-ups for the rare nodes, right? Same power, right? Corruption, and then of course your emeralds for critical strike damage versus vulnerable enemies. Now for an amulet, again, I'm not 100% optimized, but what he's got is an accelerating amulet. I also have that. Critical strikes with core skills increase your attack speed by up to 38% for 5 seconds. On an amulet, that's a point time, that's a 150% increase, right? Or 50% increase, whatever. He's got +3 ranks of all imbuement skills, energy cost reduction, cooldown reduction, and movement speed. Now, I don't think the energy cost reduction with this build is actually necessary, because of the lucky hit chance from Fists of Fate to give yourself primary resource. It's okay. Like, I've been playing it since last night, since I got the new gear set up, etc., and I haven't had any energy problems. Okay, there's even a passive that grants you, on lucky hit, 30% chance to gain 8 energy. So that, combined with Fists of Fate, ensures that you always have energy, right? On top of the power, right? Your attacks randomly deal 1 to the ranges 1 to 300% maximum, right? Damage when it's a maxed out roll for that on Fists of Fate. That's huge. Trust me, it's freaking huge. You blow through enemies when that thing procs. It's pretty freaking. But it says your attack, so every single attack you make has a chance to do this. Doesn't matter if it's puncture. It doesn't matter if it's right. I maybe kind of wish it was like on critical strike. Whenever you critically strike, you get this buff for so many seconds or something. I think that will be better, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so back to the amulet. So my amulet currently has dexterity. It has flat damage. It has control impaired duration reduction and movement speed. If I was to take what he's got, I would definitely get the ranks of all imbuement instead of, say, control impaired duration reduction. I don't care about control impaired duration reduction. And the reason for it is because I use concealment and shadow step. Right? Because concealment gives me unstoppable, I instantly get out of it, and then shadow step, same thing, right? So I don't have to worry about being control impaired because I always have unstoppable and I always have shadow step. And we'll talk about that in a second here. So I have synergy on this ring. For your rings, basically what he shows on here, critical strike chance, critical strike damage, vulnerable damage, and lucky hit chance. That's exactly what you want. Now, he's got inner calm as a power, as an aspect on one of his rings. Deal 10% increased damage for each second you stand still, up to 30%. So, I opted for Loop of Synergy. Using an agility skill reduces the cooldown of your next subterfuge skill by 20%. Using a subterfuge skill increases the damage of your next agility skill by 23%. So that's your shadow step. Your shadow step does pretty decent damage. It also... So, because you have multiple charges of shadow step thanks to the Ravager's aspect, combining with synergy, every time you use shadow step, which, believe me, is quite often, you're getting poison trap and concealment up all the time. You never have to worry. Basically, as long as you can shadow step, you can do poison trap and concealment over and over. It's not like 100% uptime, but it drastically reduces the time that it requires to get poison trap and concealment up. Which reminds me here, let me see. Oh no. How big is this? Okay, I'm gonna make this a bit smaller because can't see the skills. There we go. There. I realize it's not the greatest picture on here, but the video for his build and is going to be linked, and his D4 planner will also be linked in the build video I do in particular for this. Or the recording, whatever, that'll go up on YouTube. So yeah, I would definitely take, say, instead of control impaired duration reduction, a better thing would be all imbuement skill rings. Because your imbuments are going to hit hard. The other thing is you're going to take... so you're going to max out your poison imbuement as much as possible. Then you're going... With that buff, I would have a rank 9 poison imbuement. Right? Some of these skills don't need to be maxed out. You only need to put like 1 or 2 points in them, specifically because you get so many ranks for these from your gear. Get all poison imbuement, or all imbuement, or some other skill rank, right? So you maybe could go for like, maybe instead of all your imbuments, you could maybe get a passive like impetus or something like that, right? One of the passives here. Agile is good. If you got 3 ranks to Agile, you would have 12% dodge chance after using a cooldown for 3 seconds. So that's like upwards of a 25% dodge chance for me right now, if I had that. And I might actually do that. Let's see, how many ranks do I have in here? Okay, so 3. This has... I can take 1 out of there. Alright, yeah. And then put 1 in there. Where else could I take a point out of? So this actually trap mastery. Because your base critical strike chance is already really high, you could actually not put maximum... You could put 1 rank in here, and that's fine. Because as it stands right now, my critical strike chance base is 32.8%, which is pretty high. So, and that could be higher. Like on my rings and stuff, it's not. This one's maxed out. This one, it's not max. You could get critical strike in other places, right? So, if you weren't using Fist of Fate, you could have even higher critical strike chance. because of whatever gloves you're wearing, right? And I'll go through alternatives on my D4 planner list for it. So yeah, you could actually put points elsewhere. Oh, careful there, buddy. So getting as many points in here as possible, that increased dodge chance. So you're always using Poison Trap, you're always using Shadow Step, and you're always using Concealment. These and Poison Imbuement. These 4 skills are all cooldowns. So you are going to have effectively, like mine base is, where's dodge? Right now it's 12.5%. So it's going to be 24.5%. In other words, you're going to have a 1 in 4 chance to just dodge everything for 3 seconds, I think it said, right? For 3 seconds, right? Like that's I think, again, the best defense is not getting hit at all, right? So wait, didn't I? Why am I? Did I have to? Did I leave game? I had Cultist Refuge open as a frickin'. Oh, I must have gotten DC'd and then I lost the... shit, I lost the sigil because of that. Didn't I? Yeah. Okay, we're just gonna walk out here. Continue on with this. So, again, on your gear, your amulet, because of the way this works, you don't need energy cost reduction. You don't need control impaired duration. You don't need control impaired duration on anything, right? I would say you don't need, like, on his chest piece, he's got damage reduction, dex, poison damage, and imbuement skill damage. I would say it's better probably to just get flat damage wherever you can. You can get it on your amulet. You can get it on your chest piece. You might be able to get it elsewhere. I don't know what other pieces you might be able to get it on. I know you can't get it on at least swords. I don't think you can get it on your weapons. Just flat damage, which would be really nice. But that's going to improve all your damage, right? Instead of... Because the way it's going to add up is it's going to be your weapons damage, whatever that is, first. And then you get a multiplier of the 7.2% damage on top of that, right? That's why my attack power is so high. Instead of it... Whereas the next thing that's added in there, which is additive, is, for instance, I have damage with dual-wielded weapons because this isn't an optimized chest piece. That will be added in. It falls under damage, as far as I know. So it's additive instead of multiplicative. You would instead want something that's multiplicative, right? So imbuement, skill damage, poison damage, these things, they're not damage with dual-wield, whatever. Those things are not multiplicative with flat damage. You could get critical strike chance on a chest piece. Let's see. So now on my build planner, instead of what I opted for was damage reduction, all stats, damage, flat damage, and dexterity. Because that's going to give you extra dexterity. It's going to give you extra, it's going to give you extra strength and intelligence. Who cares about willpower? Willpower does like nothing on a rogue, right? Increased healing, whatever, and overpowered damage. No, I've never seen a rogue overpowered, so useless stat. So yeah, damage reduction, all stats, damage, and dexterity. With the might passive, because again, might versus Umbrus, might is a guaranteed 20% damage reduction, as long as you just do one single auto attack. It's not up to for a certain percentage for a certain period of time. It's always 20%. It'd be nice if you could get it higher, but it is what it is, right? So then on the rings, he's got Intercom and Bursting Venoms. I instead have Synergy, again, because this power allows me to reduce the cooldowns of both my Poison Trap and my Concealment. And I Shadow Step constantly because I'm able to. And then also for the passive, for one of the passives for Poison Trap is that it has a 30% chance to reset your imbuement skill cooldowns when active or when activated. So, and it also knocks targets down. which is nice because as soon as it knocks enemies down, boom, you have, you know, the chance to screw them up without them hitting you. And if you're not getting another thing that's really important for critical strikes is that critical strikes with poison imbued skills deal 75% increased damage. Which, by the way, what is going on here? Oh, the duration is increased. Wow, that's kind of a shitty passive, really, but whatever. Yeah, so bursting venoms allow, and oh yeah, I'll go back to the stats first. Whatever resists, I don't care on your rings. Until they fix resistances, it doesn't matter. Critical strike chance, vulnerable damage. You're going to want critical strike damage and lucky hit chance on both. You want those same stats on both your rings. Right? So he's got again, calm, which gives you increased damage when standing still. I don't like standing still at all with any character in this game. But against a singular enemy like Uber Lilith, it's okay because as long as you're able to continually daze her, you will own her because she won't attack. You basically just skip all her mechanics. So yeah, I have synergy there. And then bursting venoms. Critical strikes with poison imbued skills have up to a 10% chance to create a toxic pool that deals X damage, poisoning damage over 3 seconds to enemies within. While standing in the pool, your poison imbuement skill has no cooldown and no charge limit. An amazing power to always just be blasting off, you know, primarily twisting blades, poison imbued twisting blades for that extra 168% damage at my current ranks. It already does it with combo points. That's another thing. Not going inner sight, not going the ultimate one, obviously. Going combo points. With combo points, this skill does an incredible amount of damage. That's like 15,000 to 19,000. It's like, what, like 30, 40,000? Like, it does almost as much damage as Poison Trap. Now you combine Poison Trap with that incredible damage. This is how you burst through enemies, right? You don't do a lot of physical damage, so you need to ensure that you have Poison Imbuement and Poison Trap up as much as possible. So there's 2 ways to do that with Poison Imbuement. I guess 3. One is cooldown reduction. Maybe on your amulet, that's something you could get. I don't know if that's something you can actually get on the amulet. Let's see. Maybe instead of... Yeah, you can get cooldown reduction on your amulet. So that would be the other thing. Dexterity, damage, movement speed, and cooldown reduction on the amulet. Because then your total cooldown reduction base is like close to 30%. On top of the cooldown reduction you get when you use Shadow Step. When you use Poison Trap, you have a 30% chance to reset your Poison Imbuement. So that's kind of like you're hoping that if you don't get the 10% chance on critical hit with poison imbued skills, create the toxic pool. If that doesn't happen, which can happen, you then have Poison Trap to fall back onto to try and proc the 30% chance. And it's not a lucky hit. It's just every time the trap activates, when something steps on it, you have a 30% chance to reset your imbuement skills. So very, very helpful. For the weapons, same as him, Ashira's Kanjar and a Blade Dancer's Royal Bumbler. Now, let's see. He's got critical strike damage, dexterity, damage to close enemies, and vulnerable damage. So, critical strike damage and close enemy damage to close enemies, they're not in the same category, so they're multiplicative. However, I would recommend maybe not getting a double critical strike damage on here. Instead, you could opt to go for something like let's see here. Bring it up, stupid mouse. Let's see. Can you just get critical strike? So you can't get critical strike chance. Oh. No. I don't know. There's a lot of things in here you could get. So there's... Situational. You're going to want to get as many non-situational multiplicative stuffs on here as possible. I would maybe recommend core skill damage to improve twisting blades more, maybe. Damage to poison enemies. No. All these. You could get all stats or dexterity. Right? Alright, definitely dexterity. And then all stats, actually. Instead of critical. Again, because you're trying to spend as few points in the Paragon board as possible to hit the rare node's secondary power-ups. Right? This means you can get more points into potentially getting more legendary powers in the Paragon board, etc. That'll be something I cover. That'll be in the D4 planner. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm actually going to change that on here in my D4 planner instead of because I think all stats would be better. Oh, all stats, damage to close enemies, vulnerable damage, dexterity. There. All right. So and then for his Paragon board, in the skill tree, for instance, he takes for the Keystone key passive, he takes close quarters combat for the attack speed and increased damage versus crowd controlled enemies. However, I take momentum because this is where, for instance, you make up with the combination of the might power and momentum. When you're at 3 stacks of momentum, you now have an equal amount of damage reduction to the Umbrus power by itself, right? Yeah, you have to take an extra, you have to take a different key passive, but I actually like momentum more. It gives you increased energy regeneration, 20% damage reduction at 3 stacks, and 15% increased movement speed. All 3 things, super good, and all you have to do is stun, daze, or freeze enemies, or hit them from behind. You're always hitting enemies behind. It's super easy to get momentum with Shadow Step. You just Shadow Step a couple times, right? Or stun, daze, or freeze them. With Fists of Fate, that's super easy because they have the lucky hit chance to daze, right? So very there's another difference there. He's got as much lucky hit stuff as possible, right? Every 100 energy, Alchemist Fortune for non-physical damage, etc. I've opted for other utility stuff, so because I have enough lucky hit, I think. One, I mainly want damage, or energy. Now here, actually, you could put like 1 point into each one of these, like this. This would be fine, I think. Right? It's only a 10 lucky hit, 10% chance, whatever. This one is nice because your second wind grants you, it's just every time you spend 100 energy, right? So that's nice. Trap Mastery, you don't really need the increased critical strike chance because your base crit is, I think, high enough to mitigate that. I would still maybe take a point for that, just to, when your Death Trap activates, you get that extra crit strike chance against them. Because you're knocking them down, they are crowd controlled, so and you can easily make them vulnerable. There's a passive or something like that makes enemies vulnerable, or if you can use concealment and then poison trap can still make enemies vulnerable. Now if you were to do that though, that's exploit helps. You can make enemies vulnerable. Bane, so exploit, I'm not 100% sure about this still. I might take this out. Let's look over here actually. So snare, yes, non-ultimate trap skills have 25% increased radius. Okay, that is huge, I think. See, I I think... So for every 5 strength purchase within range for exploit, you deal extra damage to vulnerable targets. You deal extra poison damage with Bane, but vulnerable damage is better. However, Snare, if you can get it in there, is actually really good. Because if you're going to use... If you want an easier time applying your vulnerability, not to as many targets, because you can move through targets with Twisting Blades and apply it. It's just a little bit more mechanically challenging than just using Concealment and Poison Trap. With the 25% increased radius on Poison Trap, it's actually really big. How big that is, like the range on the screen. And so you can make a lot of enemies with a single Poison Trap vulnerable. The difference is that you're relying on two cooldowns to get this proc off instead of a single cooldown in Twisting Blades. So I would recommend Twisting Blades more than anything else. And then another key difference is I took the... Nope, not Deadly Ambush, sorry. I took the Tricks of the Trade board. Because this is huge. Your marksman skills grant your next cutthroat skill 25% increased damage, and your cutthroat skills grant your next marksman skill 25% increased damage. So this is an amazing synergy. I haven't seen it really used by a lot of people, and I think it's heavily overlooked. This power is amazing. Okay? And it's, as you can see here, like, it's super easy to get it. Right? Like, if you wanted extra critical strike damage, you could even just come from up here over to here. That could make up for not having it, for instance, on your weapon, if you're really hurting for the extra critical strike damage. Let's see. Closer is a very good one. This board is what? Eldritch Bounty. So I don't think he has that as a board. Right. Again, this is just choice. Everybody's got their own preference. So he's got Deadly Ambush, No Witnesses, Cheap Shot, Cunning Stratagem, and Exploit Weakness. I instead have Tricks of the Trade, Eldritch Bounty, because this gives you imbuement skill damage. And then I have the Closer Glyph in here. My next board currently is Deadly Ambush for the increased critical strike damage to enemies affected by trap skills. Which is why it's not as... If you get this is actually better, I think, than taking this passive. You don't really need this. Because with... Let's see, critical strike chance. So you go... from having, it's like what, 56% chance of critical strike chance with that with the where is it, sorry, with Deadly Ambush as a power. And then my next board is Cunning Stratagem. I don't understand this legendary node. It makes no goddamn sense. Since when do you do non-damage combo point bonuses? What has a non-damage combo point bonus? I think, like, if anything, it should be your combo point bonuses are increased by 33% when you spend 3 combo points or something. Like, that needs to be changed, because that's... Why would you take that? What... If anybody can correct me, like, what is a non-damage combo point bonus? Every single skill I've seen that I know, it's a damage multiplier, right? Like, or it's an additive damage buff. Yeah, it's weird. And then on here, I have, currently I have Bane for the 10% chance to double the amount of damage for poisoning effects. So this, I think, stacks. I think it would be additive to the passive for your poison imbuement. So your poison imbuement is actually going to have a where is it? instead of taking this, right, to double the amount, this is 30% chance. So you still have a chance to double it, but this is critical strikes with poison imbued skills deal 75% increased poisoning damage. This is more reliable to get extra damage out of your poison imbuement than the lucky hit chance, right? Now you could, because it goes lucky hit and then you have a chance per lucky hit to do various effects, right? It's similar to critical hit chance, right? But I think this, having blended poison imbuement, is more reliable. But at least with this, with Bane, you have the chance still to double that effect. And then the same thing over its duration is for your poison trap, right? My poison trap currently, because here's another thing. The damage numbers here could be even higher. If you have more ranks in these various skills, you can mix them up however you wish. You can have much higher poison trap damage. And then if you get the doubling, that's 121, like 100, yeah, like 121,000 or something like that damage over 9 seconds. Just from poison imbue. And then from poison imbuement, it's whatever the skill is. So imagine, let's see, poison imbue is 168%. So let's go the maximum, right? 15,000. What was it? 8. I need to move this over here. 15,696 plus 22,000 or plus 18,639. So that's a minimum of 34,325 damage with 3 combo points. Basically, you always want to be doing 3 combo points. So that's a minimum of, I just want to give an example of some damage numbers, right? With poison imbuement. If you have more ranks in poison imbuement, you can get this up to 200%. So you get double your base damage as a poison damage on top of what you're doing with combo points as well. So that's 34,325 to 19,184 plus 22,781. So that's 34,325 with 3 combo points to 41,965. That's your base damage with 3 combo points using Twisting Blades. Now, 34,325 times what, 168? So we'll go, how would you do that? 0.68. It's really 68%. So that's an additional 23,341 to 41,965 times 0.68 equals 20,536.2. So, say you did Twisting Blades 1 time in 6 seconds. Oh, and then on top of that, we'll say you also do Poison Trap. So you're getting that damage. So in a 9-second period, do Twisting Blades once. That's 60,740. Okay. So minimum you would do 34,325 plus 23,341 plus yeah, that's 57,666 to 21, 965 plus 28, 536.2, 70,501.2. Right? So you do, just from the poison imbuement, a single time, 57,666 twisting blades to 70,501 plus. That's over a 6-second period. And then on top of that, add your 60,742. Right. And then you also have a chance to double all those. A 10% chance. So that means you go to 7,666 times 2, 115, 332, 2, like 140, 501 times 2. That's 141,000 and 2 damage. Plus,
all better.
120, whatever, 6742 times 2, 121,484 damage over 9 seconds total. That's your damage. So, like, it's anywhere from, let's say, 115, 332 plus 121, 484. That's 236,816 to plus 121, 484. 262,486. Now, that's only if you did Twisting Blades and Poison Trap once. With this build, you're going to be pumping out Poison Traps like crazy. You're going to be pumping out Vulnerable damage like crazy. And your Twisting Blades is going to be continuously pumping out this damage. Right? Very, very easy. I prefer having a faster cooldown without needing to put as much cooldown necessarily on things. Or using cooldown elixirs or something like that, right? And then also, one thing he did mention... Oh, what the hell, dude? Where'd it go? Is it this one? Okay, yeah, here's his. His build specifically, explicitly, is for fighting bosses. My build is to try and be a bit more all-around. Where you can... I've called it so far the Survivalist Rogue or whatever. You have just as good, if not better, damage reduction. You have better cooldowns because you're not relying on just base cooldown. You have base cooldown plus the synergy bonus of Shadow Step and your subterfuge skills. I mean, you could replace potentially your Concealment also with another subterfuge skill, right? Like you could instead maybe take Smoke Grenade. Smoke Grenade is really good. It gives you a guaranteed daze. Right? So, but I prefer having two forms of Unstoppable. Unstoppable is king in this game, as far as I'm concerned. Breaking out of CC is always a main issue. It's like having like the trinket power from World of Warcraft on your character or something all the time. And then he takes Dash. I hate Dash. Again, the reason for it, you can't use Dash if you're CC'd. And unfortunately, Shadow Step doesn't always work. It doesn't have the range of teleport of a source of the wizard, or yeah, sorcerer, sorry. And it requires a target. And the targeting in this game is, it's not the greatest, honestly. It seems the hitboxes for monsters are really small for you to target them. But, like, as an example, Corpse Explosion on the Necromancer. Corpse Explosion is very precise. Like, when you mouse over a corpse, you have to be right on top of the corpse. There's no, like going a little bit away from the corpse and being able to target. Which makes it really difficult and mechanically challenging when you're playing a necromancer in battle, because you have to be able to precisely target those corpses on top of dealing with your minions, keeping them up and keeping them healthy. And then also, you know, you have to worry about your minions, and then you have to worry about like your cooldowns and your mana and all your essence and your health, and like it's just an extra thing that's kind of annoying. Shadow Step is kind of similar in that you need to have, it's a very precise targeting, but that's because the hitboxes are so small on enemies, and the smaller the enemy, the harder that is to guarantee per se. So to get, it's better to use Shadow Step typically on bigger enemies, even if it's not going to kill the enemies. That's okay. Whereas Concealment will give you guaranteed CC break regardless of what's going on the screen. You hit Concealment, you get out of there, right? Let's see, is there anything else here? In terms of Paragon, skills, let's see here. Let's see. So yeah, he's taken all the lucky hit stuff. I have not, because I don't necessarily see a need for it. I have at one point an adrenaline rush. That little bit of energy regen is nice, but primarily it's for this, right? While at or above 50% maximum energy, gain 15% move speed, while below, you gain increased attack speed. So along with Ashira's Kanjar, incredible dagger for the attack speed buff. And then, of course, you know, precision imbuement for that increased critical strike chance. Now, I've opted, instead of going for, he went for, I think, yeah, he went for attack speed, alchemical advantage, for the passives. I've instead decided to go with debilitating toxins, because I think the damage reduction of enemies, they deal 15%, especially as you're pushing higher level content like nightmare dungeons and stuff like that, is more important than, because it's just poisoned enemies. It's not only if you use your poison imbuement, just poisoned enemies. So poison trap, poison imbuement, you're always going to have that up, especially with twisting blades, poisoning it, targets, etc. That 15% less damage on top of all the other instances of damage reduction you can gain, much better. Malice for, you know, increased damage to vulnerable enemies. You deal like exploit, you deal more damage to healthy and injured enemies. That actually helps a lot. Concealment, you only ever need one skill rank in this, because all it does is reduce the cooldown, but you don't have to worry about the cooldown. This is, at least, I should clarify, this is an in-game build, obviously. At earlier levels, you might need to put more ranks into Concealment, or you might need to get Concealment on a piece of gear like your pants or your boots or something, because of the cooldown, right? But with the synergy, as soon as you get the synergy power, you don't have to worry about the cooldown of Concealment and Poison Trap as much. Of course, Weapon Mastery, really helpful. Daggers and swords, you use both of them. Increased damage to healthy enemies, increased damage flat out. Shadow Step, you only need 1 point in. It's got 2 charges. It does look at the damage this skill does, even without having multiple ranks in it. I have a single rank in it, right? He takes now, enemies damaged by Shadow Step are stunned. I instead take cooldown reduction for when you hit an enemy for the first time with Shadow Step, because I want to be able to guarantee Shadow Steps all the time. I want to be continually flitting across the screen, basically. And with dazing enemies, dazing them is good enough. I don't need them to be stunned. If they try and move, I can just Shadow Step them, right? I take Sturdy for damage reduction versus close enemies, and Siphoning Strikes for more healing. Although, if your lucky hit chance is higher, instead of Siphoning Strikes, you could take it out of there and maybe take Stutter Step, or take these damage reduction bonuses for, take Rugged and Reactive Defense, right? Although you don't necessarily need, so one thing to say, if you get CC'd, enemies do have like one-shot mechanics where they'll nail you even in that split second that you're CC'd. This is why rogues are so good, I think, because they can just instantly get out of it, right? because they have 2 forms of unstoppable. Let's see, what else has he got here? Yeah, he's only got 1 point in the close damage reduction sturdy passive. However, again, he said this is versus bosses. If the boss isn't moving, if the boss is only moving around, they're not attacking, they're not using special abilities, the damage reduction versus close enemies is not as needed. If you can lock them down like he does in his video, where they're just CC'd and they're dazed all the time and stuff like that, it's not an issue. You don't need damage reduction. That's where you would swap over to being pure damage, etc. Spamming cooldowns as fast as possible, spamming lucky hit effects as fast as possible, or getting them, etc. Yeah, I think that'd be it for now. I'm gonna play with the Paragon board. I might take Exploit out. I might put Snare back in. Or Ambush. Enemies affected by trap skills take 10% increased damage from you. Tracker is actually really good. Poisoning effects last longer, which means they're going to do more damage. If you're hurting for energy, you could take Combat as a passive. Or as a glyph instead. Also. Here, I'll get this off my screen. Don't think I need that up anymore. Diminish, right? You take 10% reduced physical damage from vulnerable enemies. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this in, because that's going to beef up Artifice as a node. It's going to give it one, it's going to increase it by 25%. So at 20, I think that's an extra 5. 20 times 0.25. Yeah, that's it. So that gives it an extra 5% vulnerable damage, and it'll give you an extra 2 dex or something like that. And then here you could take potion healing and dexterity if you wanted. Potion healing is actually much more important than you might think. Now, the other thing you could do instead is you could put diminish somewheres like down here. So you could get 8% damage reduction from enemies affected by trap skills and 20% damage to enemies affected by trap skills. This would be a really good ideal spot for, say, so that's strength. Diminish is also strength in terms of requirements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take turf out. But I'm going to wait. Because I want to get all the strength I need in here. Up in here in this final board. And then... then I'm going to swap Exploit out for turf. And diminish I will put in over here. Because you get extra damage reduction and extra damage to targets affected by traps. That's great. This spot, not really ideal. There's only one node for right there. You could take this, but again, it's potion healing. Over here, you got armor and damage to elites. So, I mean, I think, generally speaking, putting it on the deadly ambush board is ideal. Because you'll 25% damage reduction bonus. So that's, I don't know, what's 8? 8 times 0.25. What the hell? 8 times 0.25 equals 2. Okay, so that's 10%. You gain an extra 2% damage reduction, and you would do 5% extra damage to targets affected by traps. I think that's pretty good. On top of that, you take 10% reduced physical damage from vulnerable enemies. Every single hit you take, unless it's a spell effect, some kind of magic effect from an enemy does physical damage. And even some of those spell effects might be physical and elemental, like lightning or something. So like anything that melees you, anything that fires a bow, anything like that at you, that will help with that damage. And later on, when you're fighting in the higher tier nightmare dungeons, you're going to need as much damage reduction to survive as possible. So that is where I'll end it for now for the build guide. Where is my other chat? There we go. Are they on top of each other? No. Yeah, so I'll end that portion there. I'm going to take a momentary break, and then I'll be right back, and then I'll get to some actual gameplay. Show you guys how this build actually works out. It's pretty good. Like I said, this was a response to Lucky Luciano's build versus bosses. And instead, this is just for everything else. You could still... I don't know how this would perform versus Uber Lilith, but I imagine it's still going to be good. It's just not going to be quite as fast, maybe, as his Uber Lilith build. So, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm back, baby. Oh, stupid mouse. Keeps double clicking. Oh, you know what? I'm going to, I guess, advertise my stream. Probably a good idea to do that. If only my mouse would work correctly. Holy crap. Man. What the hell? What's going on here? There we go. There we go. Okie doke, let's see. Is there a hell tied up? Yep. It's up for one more minute. Ah, well. Let's do a nightmare dungeon. How about? Let's check my materials. 767 sigil powder. Let's go. Shiv to ruins it is. I'm gonna be. I ordered 2 new mice. Try them both out. One comes on the 6th, one I think the 11th. So we'll see how it goes. And a new keyboard. Very excited for that. I like these. I like the micro keyboards, but this one I'm getting is going to be actually even smaller than the one I currently have. Oh, there's another player nearby. Well, this is my second mouse, I think, I've had since I originally built this computer before, you know, replacing parts and upgrading and all this. This mouse is already, it's a Cooler Master. I don't remember what kind. It's gone, it's a Master Mouse, MM830. That's what it is. The button, the left mouse button has gone on it. I don't know if it's because it needs just like some kind of repairing or something, but that's okay. Got 2 new ones coming in, new keyboard. Be very happy when I get that. And yeah, you're very quick with this build. One thing that is different about this now compared to before is I have the Blade Dancer's Royal Bone Blade, right, the sword, whereas I normally have been using the Condemnation Dagger. Now, I could switch out, reduce my imbuement, take Corruption off, put Twisting Blades back on there, and then take the Corruption Dagger, or Condemnation Dagger again. Not sure which one would necessarily be better, but the Condemnation Dagger makes it way easier for spamming Twisting Blades. So I might try that in a bit here. See how that goes. Hey. I hate these things so much. Oh, why did it not put me over? That was weird. Yeah, fuck those guys. Oops. About time something friggin' maybe interesting dropped. Oh, I was wondering what was stopping me there. Stupid spider webs. Alright. Damn it. Finally move on from this shithole. Travel to the shambles of vermin. Ah, boss time. Booyah. Deflecting barrier. Yeah, garbage. In the ring, yeah. And I'll show you an when I get back down, I'll show you an alternative set of gloves you can use instead of these. If you don't have Fists of Fate yet. It'll still help you out with this build. Alright. I'm gonna go to town. I'm gonna try this build with Twisting Blades. I gotta make sure I have another... I really need to get another crossbow is what I need. So that I can have a crossbow with Twisting Blades and then have, whatchamacallit? Is this one that I was gonna do? All stats. Damn it, no, not that one. It does have Twisted Blades on it, though. Twisting Blades. Probably that one. And this. Turn this into Twisting Blades. And then exchange Twisting Blades, the sword for... Where's my dagger? Where is my condemnation dagger? What the fuck? Am I just blind here? There it is. Whew. I was worried for a second there. Alright. Because this one, like, it's really good. All the damage on it. And then your core skills deal that 30% extra damage. That kind of makes up for the imbuement potency, but... Yeah, this is going to do two things for you. One is that your core skills, so Twisting Blades, does 30% more damage. And then on top of that, you have a chance, 30% chance per basic skill attempt to just get 3 combo points. So it's faster for build up for spamming Twisting Blades. That's the real benefit of this. So I'm going to try that because I really like Condemnation. 1030... all this is just junk. Oh yes, and I was going to show you the the gloves to use. Those no. Where are they?
The only time
Well, it appears I do not have this other pair of gloves, but basically the other pair of gloves would have had twisting blades, skill ranks, would have had critical hit chance, dexterity, and I think all stats. That's 4. All that is okay. I thought I had them. I guess maybe I accidentally sold them or something.
Need something special?
No.
All things have value, I suppose.
Okay. Then I need to go over here.
No. 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 2.
Well, let's have a look.
Oh, what do I got for aspects? Blast trappers.
No more jumps, King. Just on 1 or 2. 1. Okay, jump off of 1. That's my jump back. No.
What are you doing?
She's trying to take the...
Alright, stop, Macy. That's Mason's. I'm gonna see if I have a better twisting blades aspect over here. Okay, yeah, there's a better one. There we go. So we're gonna enchant this crossbow. I think it's got dexterity already, so I'm gonna try and get all stats on. But first, we're going to put the new aspect on. Yep. There we go. And then let's try and enchant.
The little mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Who should be here too?
Well, no. But it's not going to be here.
There we go, 56 all
They're not
stats.
delivering it.
And that's max roll too. It's gonna have slightly lower dexterity,
No, it's not. It's
but that's
not
okay.
Happy customer.
Now we can go upgrade it.
it's
Ooh, yeah.
not being delivered.
Wow, that was expensive. Oh boy. One of these days I'll get to rework my Paragon board.
Never seen something finer.
So there we go. Here's a comparison. Slightly less it's got like 21 less dex. It's got core skill damage on it, so that's alright. Critical strike damage with imbued skills. Cool. So my damage only goes down by like 100. Oh, and it's not socketed. Ooh. Where's Jimmer? Jimmer. Ooh. Expansive. See, here's a time where I wish I could favorite items, like... where am I going? Right here. Is there a quest here? No. Oh yeah, and for like Hell Tides, this build is phenomenal because you're fast as fuck. You just zip around.
Good thing. Supper's on its way.
No, it won't.
There.
It's not being delivered, Billy.
That means that you can have your supper.
Just don't, Mason, just stop. Don't bother. It's clearly not listening. Okay, so... oh, there's a Hell Tide up right now. Why is it bugged out?
Yeah, I have a tactic.
Take the build guides down. I don't need those anymore. Yeah, it's saying it's up. For another 56 minutes. Okay. So we'll go do that. I need lots of money anyway. It's the time. 6:04. So the chests, I think, would have just rotated. It's over here. But we're gonna go up here to where the events are.
Okay, Matt, we can use the.
Alright. Where's all the freaking enemy? Wait, I'm not in a Hell Tide. Why is it saying it's a Hell Tide? This is bizarre. It's bugged out. Oh, I guess let's see if these guys... Yeah, they're not dropping. Oh, that sucks. Goron Canals. Lost Archives, no. Yeah, sure, let's go here. Saying it's in Hell Tide. Oh, in 54 minutes. Never mind. Derp. We'll just do dungeons till it's up. Yeah, let's just go. Free the prisoners. All I see is blood.
That's for Uncle Matt's computer and Uncle Paul's. Was, yeah. The wireless. Oh, you jump on it, yeah. Really?
Do not turn the internet off, Macy.
Not talk about
Oh, okay.
talking about the light.
Bless you.
Easy.
Give him my chest. Ooh, Goron slums. Yeah, so far I'm liking this one more, I think. Okay, I need to get more strength. Oh, I can get that one. Can't I? Oh, oh, I already have that one. Get that one. Once this is rank 15, it'll be... Well, I don't need exploit. I should just take exploit out. And put diminish in. Bam.
There we go.
Still strength, but I like the physical resistance of from vulnerable enemies more. And then of course it buffs, you know, the power of this. Oh wait, no, I was gonna put that else. Whatever, it can go in here for now. Still making it more vulnerable damage. Oh. Physical damage and you deal with it. No. Huh. Non-basic and non-core skills deal 15% increased damage, 40 dexterity. And all blue nodes within range get buffed up. Alright, all magic. I like that. So I just need dexterity instead. I need 15 more dexterity. Dex there, right there, all there. So 10 dexterity. I could reroute this whole thing, get 2 extra there. Yeah, it has to be within radius range. So yeah, the next 2 levels will be these. I like this. Non-basic and non-core skills deal 15% increased damage. All magic nodes gain extra. So that means, you know, the vulnerable damage is going to increase. Look, it's 30% bonus. So overall, that's more. And then extra healing, extra intelligence. This means that my poison trap and I think my imbuement will be better. However, oh, it's so hard to pick. Snare. Ambush. Bane is already installed somewhere. But it doesn't have all the strength it needs. think I like that one more. Off by 5 intelligence. Oh, ooh. Bam. There we go. Poisoning damage effects last longer. Increased damage to poison targets. So that makes up for the... Is it... Which one was it? Yeah. And then I'll just pick these nodes up here. I will take these nodes, I think, just to get intelligence, the extra intelligence and strength. And if I can, it'd be nice to be able to get over here. I've got enough intelligence. So now I can just focus on strength. Because I do want to come up here as well. Damage reduction from vulnerable targets. It would be nice if I had enough points to get all the way up here to get some of this stuff. Damage reduction. All that damage reduction and armor. I need like another, what? 42, 52 strength for that. Lots of strength for that. The rest of them, I think I've met all the conditions. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be happy with that. Extra long poison duration, hell yeah. Resource cost reduction, cool. So got 4 prisoners to free. Now, one thing that is nice about Condemnation over like the Twisting Blade sword is that it is far easier to guarantee in a shorter period of time, typically, that you're going to get 3 combo point Twisting Blades off. Because of the buff, for the 30% chance to just generate 3 combo points per basic use, and additionally, oh, what was the other thing? Oh, and you attack faster. Right? My attack speed, my weapon speed is 1.2. But with all my buffs running, my attack speed goes up to like... Close to, like... It's pretty close to 2 attacks per second. Yeah.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
Quit. What are you doing? Quit getting frustrated. Just chill out. You'll be alright. Dude, you can't expect a bunch of randos to have your back. That's not how the world works, man. Off, you little bastards.
So in total with the delivery fee, Matt,
Yeah.
it's $150.41.
What's that and divided by 2?
I'm doing that right now. So I need to send you $75.20.
Okay.
Which I'll do right now.
Here. Just take my turn. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, instead of the ability that makes you stand still, the aspect, to get the 30% increased damage overall, you could instead take Expectant on Buddy's build instead. Take this, because I think this would be better. Because you can get this real fast, like, right? If you get a max roll on at 10%, that means you only have to hit 3 times with a puncture to get the 30% increase, and then you Twisting Blades. On top of that, you'll also get your next, you'll get the oh, what's it called? Way down here. You'll also get the Tricks of the Trade buff. Right? So that's like a 50-some% increase in the damage. Plus the 28% from Condemnation, if you're using Condemnation. Which is pretty good. So I might keep that. That's an 8%. That's pretty close to max roll for Expectant. And I'm not sure what I would, where I would put that. Like, I would say instead of Inner Calm on one of your rings, put Expectant. That, I think, overall will be better. Okay, I gotta rip back down real quick. Go shell some stuff. And then get back in there.
You don't ruin all that work.
There. I do have a ring that I'm looking to upgrade. Come on. Come on. But need money for that. It's expensive. I'll be just a moment. I gotta do a couple things. And I'm back! Okay. 2 hours. Man, I was talking about that stuff for quite a while.
I feel like what's the report?
I must say, when fighting elites, for the like, this does feel faster. Probably in part due to the extra damage on the core skills. Because if your damage on your skills is higher to begin with, then you're going to do, for instance, more vulnerable damage. Overall, that ceiling will scale up. I'm going the wrong way.
I broke my fingers.
You want to watch me whoop some ass, Mason?
It's gonna be in the match of PUBG.
Not yet. Watch. Be real quick here.
Wait, I think I've been there before. Yeah, I have. I've been in this area before. Oh, now it's starting. Brr. Brr. Nothing can beat you.
Oh, yes, it can.
Huh?
Yes. There we go. Oh, freaking web.
Your poison trap. Lure all of them down to your poison trap.
No,
What?
don't need to. Put a new one up right there. Okay, what do I got in here?
25, 24, 23,
Got tracker in.
21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14,
Yeah, we're gonna stick with that.
13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I gotta go, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta battle these dudes. Even though I'm not even playing Battle Royale, I'm playing solo.
Alright. See how much longer till the hell tides up. 23 minutes. Okay.
I'm going to an area I've never thought I would go into. I guess I am.
Let's go to the slums. What's up, Halo? You got a lot of food? Huh?
Probably.
Yep. Oh, little bit. Huh?
How did we get?
Come on.
Well, cats do love eating food. No, because Misty begs for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're really hungry, I guess.
That's probably why she's like that, right?
Well, that Billy overfed her for years. Do it too.
Before, Misty was not like that when Gage had her.
No, the problem when Gage had her is that he never fed her. He never took care of her. That was the problem. Poor cat, man. That's why the cat started eating everything in sight that it could get its hands on. Yes, because it was always questioning whether it's going to have food or not. And
One-shotted?
When animals are like that, when they're in that condition, you know what they do? They go after whatever food they can get their hands on so they don't freaking starve to death.
This person literally just one shot.
Yeah?
Now that's what I call hack.
No. If he headshotted you, dude.
Whenever I headshot somebody, it takes 2 hits.
Mm-hmm. Oh crap. Gotta take care of these poison guys.
Last round, it took 2. Kicking this ball. Oh, soccer ball. The soccer ball.
That poison hits so freaking hard.
No. Gimme. Gimme. Playing soccer in PUBG. And now there's 3 players.
Bless you.
Ouch. I failed, Daddy. Daddy. I need help, Daddy.
Oh, this event.
Beasts can't resist the scent of blood, even their own.
Venti?
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's not bugged out.
Care to join the hunt?
You have to kill.
You have to kill a bunch of monsters.
Oh my god.
They're angry now.
Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Oh, not for long, baby. I hate it the most. I guess it has stupid map. The worst map they could expect. Why is this supposed? Why is this my 4th time playing? It's not in a single way.
Yeah, this event is a little bit weird because time runs out, but as long as you're on the last one, you still get the full reward.
We can draw out one
Yeah.
of the ones.
That's flipping weird.
Oh yeah, I gotta fight the big guy now.
Hear that?
No.
Yes.
Good. That's the best event.
That's it.
It's a very good event.
Take this for your troubles.
Right?
Good luck to you.
See, that event is alright as long as, you know, it works right. There we go.
I pulled out my emergency parachute. Look at nature, it's so big.
Bless you.
Wait for my imbuement.
Give me.
Oh! Ho ho ho!
Go.
I am full.
Wouldn't
Eh?
have made it without you.
Okay, we'll go kill.
I got a military.
Drop these freaking gems.
I am gonna get.
Then we gotta deal with all the ghosties. Oh man, this is gonna be rough.
See what I said. Whoa.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm kind of busy. Yeah, those ghost guys, the floating ones, you can't let them freaking well, you can't let them charge up. Yes, because they will supercharge everything around them. Yes, baby. Oh. I'm gonna try and kill as many of these suckers as possible. I'll come back for the loot later.
But that was flipping play.
Oh! Freaking game, please stop lagging like that. Holy fuck, man. This is why I don't play hardcore. Because of this kind of bullshit. Oh, yeah, it got me.
That's not good.
See, if the game didn't stutter like that, like, it didn't have these stupid performance issues, that never would have happened. Well, at least they're all dead. Forms of damage reduction, dex, and human skill cooldown. Drop this stuff off, then pick up the rest of the loot. This is literally the best town for selling shit because you just run right over here.
Bye then.
Bam.
You got through a wall. Must be wall hats. I mean, not wall hats.
Oh boy, Mason. You're a riot, boy. Alright, boss time.
That's a cool boss.
It's supposed to be a very dead boss.
Yeah. I know, because you're OP.
Yeah. Pretty OP.
You might want the legendary. Rares. No one uses rares only if they get a rare and they don't have any legendaries. I was supposed to get some kills, and there was a red dude that just jumped straight out of the window. And I was at the door ready to shoot, but I was too late. But he didn't even shoot me at all. He just wanted to be friendly, I think. But I did not want to.
This one could be good because it says Paragon nodes. So I'm assuming that's literally every single node within range.
Yeah.
Then every level that's also going to increase. Pride. It's damage. It's physical damage. Physical and damage reduction modifier. Oh, what's it require again? Strength. That one's intelligence. Oh, which one was it that I was thinking of put it in? Right here.
You're old now.
Take out turf. From there. Don't want to take that one out. Increase potency. Gain grants 95% bonus to all rare nodes within range. That's pretty wild. So if I was to do this, I would probably take this out and put turf in, right? It's strength. That's the thing, is I don't want to lose the damage reduction right now. That's also strength. I could also just say fuck it and take this out, because I'm not getting that right now. Turf is also strength. So is pride.
Featherball, featherball, featherball.
Paragon nodes within range gain 15% bonus to the physical damage.
I mean, mouse.
8%.
Punch. Get the punch.
Why is that not? Physical damage and damage reduction modifiers. That's sad that that's not working.
I can deploy my parachute right now all the way up here. Why would I ever do that?
So not so good to put that in after all.
Play safe, okay? Mayhem. 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 Like that. See? No, I just... Why is he grabbing my stuff when I didn't even have a phone? I hope mommy's home. Well, my noodles and chicken bones.
Yeah, it's not here yet, Mason. Yeah, I'd probably take this out. Oh, where is it? Diminish. Take 10% reduced damage. Oh, where is it again? Diminish. Strength also. Yeah. That's intelligence. Strength. No, where the hell? There we go. 7.5% and 5.1. So this Bane glyph is technically better. Now I just need to get some strength in here. So take that out, get that strength. I'm one off, goddamn. There, so I got Bane. That's good. And over here, there's not much I can do. I gotta pump Diminish up. I could remove the intelligence nodes. Because that one's... it's more important to get the bonuses than anything. Shit. I need just one more thing of strength, right? Shit. There, now I got everything for that. Now I can work on taking these. Making sure I got everything from these. And then I'm going to work my way up to here. For damage versus elites. I mean, I got 1, 2, 4, 6. Oh no. Let's see. 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. That's 7 levels times 4. 7 times 4, 28. Plus 2. 30. And then I think another 8. From here. Yeah, 4 there and 4 there. Okay, cool. Did I already level something up? Yep. Cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do... Oh wait, I forgot. Come on, work. The hell tide's up in 47 seconds. So I'll do that. Then I'm gonna focus on getting those Paragon points. I really need those.
Precious stones, beautifully cut.
Okay, and it's here. Okay. No, it's down over here. Okay. What time is it? 7. Very nice.
We demand blood.
Yeah, just daze them the whole time and immobilize them. Yeah. I guess let's... Oh, okay, so there is a chest up here. So I'm just gonna rip over here. The map finally updated. We go do some events. There's one right over here. And just kill everything along the way. We're gonna go down here because there's more events to hit up in basically a straight line. We just move all the way from here to south and get what we need. Oh my god. Frickin' lagging. Oh, stupid frickin' thing. And the next event is like right there. God damn frickin' laggy shit. And then the next event. It's actually just over here. Come on, let me fucking in there.
You there? Please help. You're a saint. You were the answer to my prayers. Will you help me, stranger?
Fucking leg, man.
Bless you.
Bless you.
One more. Oh, fuck you, leg. Where is the last one? Down here?
You there? Please help. Oh, wouldn't have made it without you.
What?
And I was like, sure, once my food actually gets here.
Yeah, what the
Like,
fuck?
I'm not paying you before.
Who the fuck is this?
This fucking turtle that we just got in town.
What the fuck? They don't do...
May the daughter of hatred take you.
This ridiculous freaking delivery company here in town. It's trying to tell my sister that we need to apparently e-transfer them money for the delivery service. It's like, no. And here's the thing is, a city I lived in up until not that long ago, actually, same company, never once asked me or demanded that I do e-transfers. Yeah, no, you don't give anybody payment beforehand. That's retarded. That's how you get ripped up.
$149.60
What?
for the TJ's bill, and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, no, because
He told me $137.81.
Yeah.
The guy told me.
Like, is he including the frickin'...
Now. Okay. The place I marked is a zero rock. Which means there's probably gonna be tons of players here. That's actually kind of not a good thing. Kind of not. And one of those players is me. This players from the weekend. There's 2 little bunkers I can go into. Emergency? Didn't it call up my emergency? Don't you? No, I am not taking a jerry cake. I am taking a shotgun.
Alrighty. Three-hour stream already. Damn. Okay, let's sort this stuff out.
There's anybody in here? You're dead. It's like all of 1 hit.
Manglers, I'm gonna keep that. Yes.
Alright, I have a level 2 helmet.
This surprise power is actually pretty good, surprisingly good too. It's not as good as stunning or it's not as good as the gloves though. The Fist of Fate, because it's only 0.5 seconds, and like yeah, you can do it a lot, but you can't damage in between. Like you'd have to like shadow step or evade, and the problem is that it leaves it where you were. So if an enemy moves with you, you know, kind of lose out on that. Twisting blades, penetrating shot, attack speed, dex. Like these are okay gloves. Oh, that's another expectant. I think that's. Yeah, I'll hold on to them. These gloves would be okay if they didn't have penetrating shot on them, and the attack speed if it was like crit or something instead.
Like, she's not replying to my text now.
Wow. Just hold on a sec.
So at this point, I'm thinking just make the kids fucking sandwiches for dinner because it's 7 fucking.
Cindy, just calm down, please.
I ordered it.
This will be nicely. Keep them sharp.
Okay, I'm gonna have to end the stream here because we got some shit going on that has to be dealt with right now. And so I'll be back as soon as I can.